Hi, I'm Brenda Walton. In my family, we all enjoy sending and receiving handmade gifts and decorating for the holidays. My dies for Sizzix make it easy for the crafters in your family to create something really extraordinary and to celebrate every day of the year. This is the packaging for the Christmas trees, and it includes three different styles of fan trees: large, medium, and small. And it also includes two cute embellishments. This is what the die looks like, and I've cut out the pieces so you can see the shapes. There's a large tree with an inner shape, and the inner shape becomes the medium-sized tree, and all of these have a score line down the center to make them really easy to fold. The smallest tree is actually a folded piece of paper which is set against the left-hand side of the die, and so when you cut it, it becomes a whole tree. The smallest tree pieces look like this when they are all cut out, and you simply take them and try to line them up as perfectly as you can and fold them right along your crease line. And I like to fold them down using the bone folder just to make sure that I'm getting a nice flat fold line, so that when I put them together they can really line up very well. So you'll do that to each one of these pieces that you've cut out. Then apply a very small amount, I'm using little dots here, of quick dry glue. I don't like to apply too much glue because the paper can be very thin, and the too much glue can be a problem when the glue kind of seeps through the different layers. So I place the second layer right on top and continue gluing and positioning each one of those pieces on top. Then when I get to the last piece, I simply put it in position, as perfectly positioned as I can. So it's like a little book, really, a little book with a spine, and I like to press those pieces down. And after it has dried for a few minutes, then I unfold each one of the panels. Some of them, as you can see, kind of stick together a little bit, but then I just unfold all of those. And then for the very, very last panel, put that glue into place and put the leaves together. And now I'm unfolding it for the last time, and it looks just perfect. So now to assemble the largest tree, I'm going to start with this really sweet red and white pattern paper, and I'm going to use two different papers because it just gives a lot of nice variety to the finished tree. And you can see it has a really sweet shape, and it has a nice score line down the center, which makes it really easy to get those two halves folded over just very accurately. Then I like to press down the fold line, make sure that it lines up as well as the edges, so it really looks nice when your tree is all completed and the whole thing is very well lined up. After I have folded and scored each one of the panels, then it's time to do the gluing. So I come in with some quick dry glue and put a very thin layer down on each panel individually, and then line them up together. And I just continue this process until I get to the very last panel, say 8 to 12 panels, depending on the thickness of your paper, going all the way to the edges of each branch and all the way up to the tip. Now I've completed all of the gluing except for the very last panel, and I like to spread the tree completely open and make sure that none of those panels have accidentally stuck together, and then apply glue to the very last panel, and then put the two panels together. And those line up really well and look beautiful. And now I'll show you how to make a sweet little ornament using the medium-sized tree. You'll notice that there's a score down the center of the tree, and that will show you exactly where you're going to fold it, so you get a really nice, precise lineup of those two panels. So simply just fold that in half, and then I like to score it using the bone folder. And then when I've folded all of my panels, then I apply a thin layer of glue and stack them one on top of the other until I get to the last panel. And then press those down really well. And then I clip them using binder clips. And this is a bookbinder's trick that works really well. Let that sit for 10 or so minutes until the glue is completely dry. Then remove the binder clips and check your tree to make sure that none of the panels are accidentally stuck together, and it just unfolds and each panel is independent. That looks really great. So you can see there's one last panel that's not glued together yet, and this is where it becomes an ornament. So I apply another thin layer of glue to one half of the panel, and then also a layer of glue right down the fold line. And then I bring in a piece of metallic thread that's, say, 12 to 15 inches long if I just want to suspend it from a tree. And then press those two panels together so they're very well lined up, as perfectly as possible. And the thread will be secured in the center, and the ornament will be able to hang from a tree, and the thread will not slip out. And that will be really sweet.